boxers. You may know me, but I know you. I want to play a game.
If the FBI were to be looking at my browser history after this list, I might be in trouble with searches like death mask, shotgun carousel, and the scalping seat being just some of the 25 traps that you said were your favorite. Having survived a suicide attempt, John Kramer saw the light, not the one that leads you to the pearly gates, but the one where when a person finds motivation in valuing their life as they face the penance for their past sins by being faced with the ultimate decision of choosing life or death. To do so, John Kramer constructed over 60 traps that he unleashed on the vile and depraved people of this world, hoping that just like him, they would discover their greater purpose in life and be reborn. In this list, we put it to a social media vote, and here are the 5 best traps in Saw that you may
or may not
agree with.
You better hurry up. Be sure to like and subscribe. Make your choice.
Number 5. Saw 6, The Acid Room. Last in a series of tests, the acid room was located in the abandoned Zoological Institute. It was divided into 3 segments, with the central part of the room being the entrance, and the left and right sections of the room formerly being used as animal enclosures separated by metal grids. In both of the enclosures are large tanks filled with hydrofluoric acid connected to sprinklers in the ceiling. William Easton, a manager of the Umbrella Health Insurance Company who had caused the death of numerous sick people by denying the coverage of their treatment, would be ensnared in the trap along with his sister Pamela, and Tara and Brent, who were the wife and son of one of William's clients that he let die. After Jigsaw reveals his sins to Tara, leaving her with the power to choose his fate, Tara could not bring herself to execute him. However, her son was not that forgiving and pulled the lever, causing a bed of needles to swing down from the ceiling, pressing William up against the grid of the enclosure. The hydrofluoric acid then was pumped through tubes, connected to the nail bed, and injected into William's body, causing him to slowly dissolve from the inside out. Number 4.
Saw 2, The Needle Pit. Located on the upper floor of the nerve gas house, the needle pit was a giant hole in the center of a room filled with thousands of used syringes. 2 doors led to the room. The first, a wooden door entrance. The second was a heavy metal door that was the exit, and behind it was a syringe with an antidote for a deadly nerve agent that Jigsaw's latest victims in the house were breathing in. A long cord connected a pin and a timer between the closed doors of the room, and when someone opened the door to enter it, a metal pin would be pulled out of the timer, resulting in its activation. Then it would be up to the intended victim, Xavier, to find the key to the metal door in the bottom of the pit before time ran out, or the door would permanently lock, making it impossible to obtain the antidote. Xavier used his size to his advantage, and instead of going into the pit himself, he threw in Amanda Young, who had to dig through the needles to find the key while being poked and prodded by hundreds of needles. Amanda eventually found the key, however, time expired before Xavier could unlock the door after she threw the key up to him.
Number 3. Saw 3D Horsepower Trap. Located inside Pete's Auto Body Garage, a 1976 El Camino held up by several jacks was in the center of the room, with the doors and hood having been removed and the steering wheel secured in position by chains. Glued to the driver's seat was Evan, one of the 4 white supremacists who would be tested in this trap. Having only 30 seconds to complete the game, Evan would have to tear himself away from the seat and pull a lever attached to the motor while the car sped up. If he failed, the jacks holding up the car would fall, causing the deaths of the others who were each strategically placed around or connected to the car. One skinhead was strapped to a large metal plate by barbed wire, with his head directly underneath a spinning rear tire of the car, and would be crushed once the car fell. Another skinhead was chained to a metal post behind the car with his arms and lower jaw pierced with large metal rings that would rip off his limbs and jaw once the car fell from the jacks and sped off, driving through the fourth skinhead, who was chained to the garage door. Evan was able to tear most of his body free from his flesh that remained glued to the seat. However, it was not quick enough to beat the timer. Number 2.
Saw 1 and 6, reverse bear trap. Attached to its victim's head and secured with a padlock, the reverse bear trap had a timer attached to the back of it, leaving its intended victim with 60 seconds to find the key, unlock the trap, and remove it. If time were to run out, the trap would burst open and rip their jaws apart, as the frontal part of the trap was hooked into the upper and lower parts of their jaw. Amanda Young would be John Kramer's victim tested to overcome the trap, whereas Detective Mark Hoffman and Jill Tuck would be the next to be tested in a modified bear trap with the trigger being attached to a lever, at least in the director's cut of the film. While Jill was the only person who was unable to survive the trap, some may know that a fourth person was also placed in the trap. Former homicide detective David Tapp had his story play out in the Saw video game. Tapp, who witnessed his partner die, became obsessed with his capture, which led to his dismissal in the force. Tapp would eventually be captured by Jigsaw and locked in a mental asylum, where escaping the bear trap was only his first test.
Oh, Detective Tapp, I want to play a game. Your obsession with catching me has robbed you of your life and the lives of others. You abuse every resource available to you, tearing apart lives in your quest to find the truth. You have lost your family, your badge, even the life of your partner, Detective Singh. You have lost your health, whittled away by the bullet wound in your chest. But you have not given up, have you? Now we will see if you can overcome your obsession.
Number 1. Saw 3, the rack. Resembling a metal crucifix, the rack featured a cylindrical head and small metal plates that bolted the arms and legs down, each connected to a gear system that would twist the head and legs of its victim, who was affixed to the crucifix, painfully killing the person trapped within it. To escape the rack, a key hung from a wire in front of the barrel of a shotgun located in an enlarged glass box. The wire was connected to the shotgun's trigger, where a second person had to take the key, which would fire a shot at whoever stood in front of it. Trapped inside of the rack was Timothy, a 27-year-old medical student who killed the son of Jeff Denlin while driving drunk and sent him spiraling into rage and depression, similar to John Kramer after the death of his son. Jeff, however, had to confront his feelings of hate and vengeance towards those connected to his son's death, and the slap on the hand the man responsible would get by the legal system. While Jeff's redemption would prove to be successful in the early goings of his series of tests, he would fail to save Timothy from the rack in time.
Saw is one of those franchises that we don't watch annually. Come back to it every few years, and if a sequel is being released, we'll go check it out. With Saw 10 upon us, having watched that trailer and seeing the return of Amanda Young piqued our interest again, and having gone through this list, I'm like, man, I gotta go back and watch all of the Saw franchise films again because I just want to.
I've forgotten a lot of things too.
Well, it is very confusing.
Yes.
So as you watch this, and we all know this, as you watch the Saw films over time, if you don't go back and watch the other ones leading up to it, you're going to be like, wait a minute, who's that person again?
Yeah.
What happened there? Why are we going to flashbacks? Oh my god,
Yeah.
I don't understand what's going on.
It's like, wait, I thought they were dead. Oh, that's right, they were. This is a flashback. Oh, wait, I thought this person was dead. It is confusing. There are so many flashbacks because they need to like tie all of them together and tie all of them to John Kramer and Amanda Young, with them both being dead. So it's just, it gets confusing.
And there's so many little characters that pop up here and there that you don't think mean anything, but then later down the line they pop up and then they're more vital parts of the film that they're in.
Yeah, and in some cases you're just like, shit, what was their name? Like, I don't even remember who this is. So yeah.
Yes. So on this list here, we have the 5 most popular choices by subscribers and by people on social media land and Facebook. What's your favorite trap? Is it on here? Why is it your favorite? Let us know by dropping it in the comments. But all of these are very good. What is your personal favorite?
My personal favorite is the needle pit.
Yeah, how come?
It makes me cringe every time I see it. I just, and not that I can get needles, it doesn't bother me, but I sure as hell wouldn't want hundreds of hypodermic needles that are unclean poking into my skin. First of all, that would just hurt. And then I'm just thinking, well, you know, even if I survive this, I'm probably gonna die from whatever disease or drug I was injected with. So yeah, that one just always really gets to me.
Oh, that's a big anxiety thing. Like, oh, you want me to go in there?
Yeah.
Put the bear trap back on.
Yeah, I'll just be like, you know what, just blow my head off. It's fine. It'll be quicker.
I am good with needles too. I squirm a little bit when I see that scene. When I was a little kid though, man, I was an idiot because I hated needles and I wouldn't squeeze my fist. And here, me being a stupid little kid, it's like, I don't want a needle. I'm not gonna squeeze my fist so they can't find my vein. So now they're gonna only stab me over and over and over again instead of getting it done the first time. Dumb Dave when he was a kid. One of my 2 favorites is not on this list. Actually, both of my favorites are not on this list. The first one being the face through the knives. Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
And then the second one is the razor blade box, where the girl has to scrape her hands along the razor blades.
Yeah. That is my second one.
Yep.
But again, we're going back to the sharp, pokey things. So I think I just have an issue with any of that, especially when it's like just poking or slicing into your skin. I can't, because for some reason I can just feel it.
Yeah, with the ones here chosen, fantastic ones, like the rack.
Yeah.
I remember the first time seeing that, is like, you deserve it, but my God, does that look painful.
Yeah. Yeah, or the guy that was like glued to the seat.
Oh yeah, Chester Bennington.
Yes. Yes, it was Chester Bennington. R.I.P.
Yep.
But yeah, that was also very cringy. I mean, again, it's the whole skin thing, right? So he's like, you have to like, no, I'm good. But they had a lot of really good ones. I'd have to say that, I mean, with the Saw franchise, they really, really put thought into this. Kind of scares me a little.
Oh,
The
yeah.
thought that they put into this stuff, because this stuff is beyond.
Oh yeah. Like I said, doing my searching all these traps, looking at the designs, and I have to go back and do it again when I start pulling all the edits in. Yeah. That's how you know the CIA or the FBI ain't watching me, because I probably wouldn't be here releasing this video.
Yeah, they would have like already surrounded the house by now. So
Yep. So again, let us know what your favorite trap is by dropping that in the comments. And are you going to see Saw X? Or are you waiting for it to come to streaming? Or you're like, it was done after 3. He died and I don't need to see the rest.
maybe you should put the VPN on while you're doing these searches.
That would be a good idea. And I'm not mentioning the VPN because we're not sponsored.
Yes, no, we're not. And I am actually excited for Saw 10. I'm excited to see John Kramer and Amanda Young again. The most iconic characters in the franchise. So I'm super excited to see them again. I get it. It's like in between 1 and 2 because they're actually dead, but I'm okay with that. And I'm actually really psyched about the premise of this one.
Yeah. There's actually quite a few stories they can tell between Jigsaw and Part 3.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get it. Probably will if this makes a lot of money. Just saying. Anyway, we appreciate you watching this video. We appreciate you checking out all of our other content, but we need your help, and we need you to
Like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Yes. I know you're tired of hearing me say it because I'm tired of saying it. I'm sure she's tired of saying it too. But
Tired of remembering to say it.
yeah, that's why we don't do the quest for 5,000
No.
subscribers. That was just too long to say.
Nope.
But it all helps the channel. It helps us grow. It helps us add equipment. We listen to comments that come in that helps us expand how we approach certain things, like the microphone or adding the music to the videos as
Yeah.
we're going along. You know, we engage in conversation. We appreciate you
Yes.
for watching and talking with us. So
We try to be interactive with our subscribers. I know I have a couple of questions on the channel, and I will get to you. But yeah, we definitely appreciate that, and we appreciate you, chiming in on the polls and giving us your thoughts.
and until the next.
See ya.